The Poor Man and the Magic Coat. Once there lived a very poor man. His name was Thomas. He had no money, he had no house, he had no food to eat, but Thomas was a happy man. "I will find something," he said to himself. "I will walk down this road, I will go to the next town, maybe I will find work." He started to walk. The road was long, the sun was hot. After a short time, he saw a very old woman. She called him from across the road. "Hello," she called. "You, come here." Thomas walked over to her. "What do you want?" Thomas asked. He was polite. The old woman looked at him. "What do you want?" she asked. Thomas thought about it. "What do I want? I want money. I want a house. I want food." "You can have money," said the old woman. She smiled a little. "Take this. It is a magic blue coat." She gave him a coat that shone blue in the sun. "Climb to the top of that tall tree." She pointed to a very, very tall tree. "Then climb down inside it. It has a hole in the top." Thomas looked at the tree. He looked at the coat. He looked at the old woman. He did not understand. "What?" he asked. "Just do it," the old woman said. "When you climb down inside the tree, you will come into a large room. There will be 300 lights. It will be very bright." Thomas nodded. He still did not understand, but he was willing to try. "There are 3 doors in the room," the old woman continued. "Go through the first door. You will see a big box. On the box, there sits a dog. This dog has eyes as large as eggs. Don't be afraid. It won't hurt you." Thomas listened carefully. "Put my blue coat on the floor," the old woman said. "Take the dog, put it down on the coat in front of the box. Then open the box. You will see the money. Take some money." Thomas smiled. This sounded better. "Go through the second door," the old woman said. "You will see a bigger box. On the box there sits a dog. This dog has eyes as large as oranges. Don't be afraid. It won't hurt you. Put the dog down on the coat in front of the box. Open the box. You will see gold. Take some gold." Thomas's eyes grew wide. Money and gold. "Go through the third door," the old woman said. "There you will see the biggest box. On the box there sits a dog. This dog has eyes as large as plates. Don't be afraid, it is friendly. There are jewels in its box. Take some jewels." "This is wonderful," said Thomas. He was very excited. "But what can I do for you? Why are you telling me this?" "I don't want any money," said the old woman. "I don't want gold. I don't want jewels. I only want one little thing." Thomas waited. "In the third room," the old woman said, "there is a small glass box. My grandmother lost it there a long time ago. Bring me that box. That is all I want." Thomas agreed. "I will bring you the box," he said. Thomas took the magic blue coat. He walked to the tall tree. He climbed up the tree. It was a very long climb. He was tired when he got to the top. Then he found the hole. He climbed down inside the tree. He went down and down and down. It was dark at first, but then he started to see light. Finally, he saw the 300 lights. He was in the large room. He saw the 3 doors. He opened the first door. He went into a little room. There, on a box, was a dog. It had eyes as large as eggs. "Good dog," said Thomas. He remembered the old woman's words. He put her blue coat on the floor. He took the dog and put it down on the coat in front of the box. He opened the box. He was very, very excited. He saw a lot of money. He took some money and put it in his hat. It was heavy. He put the dog back in the box. He closed the door. He went into the second room. There, on a box, was a dog. It had eyes as large as oranges. "You're a fine dog," said Thomas. He put the dog down in front of the box. He opened the box. His eyes were suddenly as yellow as the gold in the box. Thomas took some gold. He put it in his hat. It was very, very heavy now. Then he went into the last room. This dog's eyes were as large as plates. "You are a very fine dog," he said. He petted the dog gently. Thomas looked at the jewels in the box. His eyes were suddenly red, blue, yellow, green, and gold. He took some jewels. He put them in his shoes. Now he could barely walk. Then he remembered the old woman's glass box. He looked around the room. He found it on the floor next to the dog. It was small and clear. He picked it up carefully. He climbed up, up, up inside the tree again. It was harder this time. The gold and jewels were very heavy, but he got out of the tree. He was very tired. The old woman was waiting for him. "Throw down the box," she called when she saw him. Her voice was sharp. But Thomas did not throw it. He was thinking. Why did she want this box so much? Suddenly a stone hit him on the head. It hurt a lot. "Help! I'm going to fall and die," he thought. But he put out a hand, and he did not fall. "Did you throw that stone?" he called. "Yes," she said. "Now give me the box." She is not very friendly now. "I'm not going to give it to you," he answered. He did not trust her anymore. The old woman got very angry. Her face was very ugly. She screamed at him, her voice high and shrill. He climbed to the ground. He walked away down the road. She called him names, but he did not answer. She could do nothing. It was night when he came to the town. He found a very nice room in an inn. He asked for the best food. He ate a lot. He was very happy. The next day he went out and bought beautiful clothes. He was a very important and rich man now. People thought so too. He suddenly had many friends. They all wanted to be near him. One day somebody asked him, "Do you know about the princess?" "What princess?" asked Thomas. "Who is she? Where does she live?" "You cannot see her," answered the man. "Why not?" asked Thomas. "Because she is in a big house, and she can't leave it. There is only one door. The windows are high up. She never goes out." "Why does she live in that way?" asked Thomas. He felt sorry for her. "Because a clever old man said to the king, 'Your daughter will marry a poor man.'" The king was very angry. He did not want his daughter to marry a poor man. So he built a big house with high windows. He shut the princess in it. "I want to see the princess," said Thomas. He had an idea. He found the house. He went to the door, but the king's servants quickly sent him away. They told him to leave. Then he put on his most expensive clothes. He went to the king's home. The king was very angry. "Don't come near my house again," he shouted. "I will cut off your head and put it on a stick." Thomas was scared. He went away. Thomas lived well at this time. He ate good food. He wore nice clothes. But he quickly used his money. He did not save any. One day he only had 2 jewels left. He left his nice room at the inn. He found a poor house. He lived in it. Thomas was poor now. Nobody cooked his food. Nobody cleaned his shoes. His rich friends did not invite him to their homes. They did not want to know him now that he was poor. He tried to find the tree with the 3 dogs again, but he couldn't find it. He looked everywhere, but the tree was gone. After a short time, Thomas had no money. He had no money for food. He was very hungry. He looked around his room. What could he sell? He needed to buy food. There, on the table, he saw the little glass box. "Perhaps I can buy some bread with this," he thought. "Why did the old woman want it so much? It is glass, but I can't see into it. Perhaps there are jewels or gold inside. He tried to open the box, but he couldn't. It was locked. He looked at it closely, but it was a simple, clear box, and he could see nothing inside. He hit it once with his hand. Suddenly, the dog with eyes as large as eggs appeared in front of him. Thomas jumped back in surprise. "What? How?" "What do you want?" asked the dog. Its voice was small but clear. "What do I want?" cried Thomas. "I want money. I am hungry." The dog went away. It quickly came back with a bag of money in its mouth. It dropped the bag at Thomas' feet. Thomas picked up the bag. It was full of coins. He smiled. This was very good, Thomas thought. Then he said, "I know. The first dog comes when I hit the box once. The second dog will come when I hit the box twice. The third dog will come when I hit the box 3 times. He hit the box 1 time. 1. And the dog with eyes as large as oranges brought gold. He hit the box 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And the dog with eyes as large as plates brought jewels. Thomas was rich again. He bought beautiful clothes. He moved to a big house. All his friends came back. "Why didn't you visit us?" they said. "We missed you." Thomas did not like these friends. They only liked him because he had money. He thought only of the sad princess. She can never go out, he thought. She can never walk in the garden. Her mother is dead. She can only speak to the servants and the old king. She has an unhappy life. One night, Thomas could not sleep. He kept thinking about the princess. Suddenly, he had an idea. He got up from his bed. He took the glass box. He hit it once. The dog with eyes as large as eggs came. "It is night," said Thomas. "A beautiful night, and nobody will see. I know that the princess would like a walk in my garden. Bring her here very quickly." The dog went away. It was gone for a long time. Finally, it came back. The princess was asleep on its back. Her beautiful face was sad. Thomas woke her gently. He took her into the garden. "Where am I?" she cried. "What is happening?" She was afraid. "You are walking with me in my garden," said Thomas. "Look, the flowers are asleep." "A garden!" cried the princess. "Am I outside? With the ground under my feet and the sky over my head? No walls, no windows? I can hear the sounds of the night around me." They walked for a long time. They talked about many things. The princess laughed a little. Then the sun started to appear. "I have to go," she said. "But how did I get here?" Thomas told her about the glass box and the dogs. He told her everything. She hit the box and called the dog. "Good dog," she said when it appeared. "You have beautiful eyes. Take me home. I don't want anybody to see us." The princess climbed on the dog's back and fell asleep. The dog carried her back to her room. The next day, the princess did not remember anything, but she felt different. She felt happy. Her servant, Elizabeth, a jealous and unkind woman, woke her. "Wake up, princess," she said. "It is the middle of the day. The king is waiting for you." "Is he?" said the princess, and she jumped happily out of bed. "Look, Elizabeth, it's a beautiful day." Elizabeth started to think. A number of things were strange. First, the princess always got up at 7, but today it was 12. Second, the princess was always sad, but today she was happy. Third, the bottom of the princess's nightdress was dirty. Fourth, there was a beautiful white flower on the princess's bedroom floor. But there were no white flowers in the king's garden. Elizabeth went to the king. She told him what she saw. "Let's wait and watch," said the king. "When she goes out again, we'll follow her." Thomas was in love with the princess. He thought about her all day and all night. He wanted to see her again. After 3 days, He couldn't wait any longer. He hit the glass box 1 or 2 times, and the dog with eyes as large as oranges appeared. "Please bring the princess to my garden," he said. The dog went to the princess, but Elizabeth was there too. The dog carried the princess away on its back, and Elizabeth followed. The dog stopped at the door of a big house and went in. Elizabeth saw the house. She wanted to remember it. She had an idea. She wrote the letter X on the door with chalk, and then she went home. Thomas and the princess walked into the garden. Thomas told her the story of the old woman and the tree and the 3 dogs and the glass box. He told the princess about his poor mother and about his 3 brothers and 3 sisters. He told her about when he was poor, and when he was rich, and then when he was poor again. The princess loved his stories. She talked about her parents. "My father was a great man and a good king," she said, "but when my mother died, he changed suddenly. He was old and tired and sad. He shut me in that house. Now he gets angry about little things. He doesn't want to be king. He wants white flowers in his garden. My mother loved white flowers, but now his flowers always die." The red of the morning sun started to light up the sky. The princess said good night to Thomas. He hit the box 1 or 2 times, and the second dog appeared with its eyes as big as oranges. This dog could see everything. It saw the X on the door. And it told Thomas. "Ho, ho," laughed Thomas. "Come with me quickly, and we will write X on every door in this street and the next 10 streets. They ran down the street. They wrote X on every door they could find. Soon, every house in the neighborhood had an X on its door. The next day, Elizabeth told the king the story of the night. She told him about the dog and the garden. She told him about following them and marking the door. The king took Elizabeth and some men to Thomas's street. "Here is the house," cried Elizabeth. "No, here it is," cried the king. One of the men ran to them. "No, the house is on the next street over. There's an X on the door." Another man ran up to them. "No, the house is on the next street over. There's an X on the door." Every house had an X on its door. The king was very, very angry and confused. He gave up and went home. Later that day, Elizabeth thought of another plan. She was very clever. She went into her room and shut the door. She made a small bag, and she put little white stones in the bag. She made a small cut in the bottom of the bag, and then she put it in the princess's clothes. "Now," she said, "when the princess goes out, the little stones will fall onto the road. We can follow the stones to the house." That night, Thomas called the princess again with the glass box. They walked in the garden. The dog with eyes as large as plates waited at the front of the house, watching. "I would like to be a prince," said Thomas. "I would like not to be a princess," said the princess. "Why?" asked Thomas. She didn't answer. "I want to be a prince," he said, "because I want to marry you." They sat down under a tree. Thomas put the glass box on the ground next to him. "Don't be a prince," she said. "I can't love a prince. I will be a poor girl, and you will be Thomas." At that minute, the dog saw the king and Elizabeth with 100 servants. They came out of the king's house and looked at the little white stones. The white stones shone in the dark, and they followed them. The dog ran to the princess. The king is coming," it cried. "Come quickly." The dog ran away through the streets with the princess on its back. The king, Elizabeth, and the servants arrived at Thomas's house. "Is the princess here?" cried the king. He was very angry. Thomas didn't answer. Suddenly, the king saw his daughter's little shoe on the ground next to some beautiful white flowers. He recognized the shoe. He couldn't speak for a minute. He was very sad. Then he said angrily to Thomas, "My woodcutter will cut off your head at 12 tomorrow." The servants took Thomas to the king's house. They shut him in a room. Thomas looked for his glass box. Where was it? He could not call the dogs without it. Then he remembered. It was under the tree. When the sun came up, Thomas went to the window and looked out. He was very high up. He saw a little boy below him. He called to him, "Hey, little boy." "What do you want?" cried the boy. "Would you like threepence?" "Yes, please," said the boy. "Then run to my house. Say to my servant, Thomas has a little glass box. It is in the garden under a tree. He wants me to bring it to the king's house. When you bring me the box, I will give you 3 pence." The boy disappeared. A little time later, he came back with the box. "Throw it up to me," called Thomas. The boy threw up the box and Thomas caught it. Then he threw down the money. At that minute, the door opened and the king's men came in. They took Thomas to a big square in the center of the town. Everybody from the town was there. They wanted to watch. The king stood in the middle of the square with the important people of the town around him. In front of Thomas stood a big, strong woodcutter. He wore a long red coat and a tall black hat. He held a very large axe. "Are you ready?" said the king to the woodcutter. "Are you ready?" said the woodcutter to Thomas. "No," cried Thomas, and he took out the glass box. He held it up high. "Are you ready?" said the woodcutter to Thomas. He raised the axe above his head. "No!" cried Thomas. And he hit the box once. He hit the box again. 1, 2, and then again. 1, 2, 3. The 3 dogs stood in front of him. They looked very strong and very angry. The crowd gasped in fear. "Take the woodcutter away," he said to the dog with eyes as large as eggs. "Throw him in the river." The dog ran away with the woodcutter on its back. The woodcutter screamed and yelled for help, but it was no use. "Take the king's men away," Thomas said to the dog with eyes as large as plates. The dog got bigger and bigger. Everybody watched with open mouths. Now the dog was as big as a house. The king's men were very afraid and ran away. They scattered in every direction. "Bring the princess here," Thomas said to the dog with eyes as big as oranges. "Where is the king?" he cried. In a short time, the princess and the king stood in front of Thomas, with the dogs behind them. The dogs were now quiet and calm. "Do you want to be king?" Thomas asked the old king. "No," said the king. "I only want to have white flowers in my garden and a happy daughter. When the princess and I marry, white flowers will live in your garden again, and the princess will be happy," said Thomas. And so, Thomas married the princess. The new king and queen lived happily for many years. They had 6 children and a very big garden. The old king lived his last years near them. His garden was a sea of white flowers all year. He was very happy, and Thomas never forgot the old woman or the magic of the dogs. He always tried to be kind and fair to everyone.